But so I get my shot, and within an hour, I have tingling down the same arm as my injection, right? And like when you have a limb fall asleep and it's that painful prickling, you know, and it's numb. Sometimes the limb doesn't even work right for a
Yes.
little bit.
Yep.
So it was exactly like that, but there was no
That's
reason for
severe.
my arm to be restricted, blood flow at all whatsoever. So I was like, this is not normal. Okay. And then I go home later that night, my vision became blurred and double. So instead of one TV, there were two.
Oh, God.
And then the sound sensitivity started, sound distortion started, and it just continued, on this terrible nightmarish cascade for the next 2.5 weeks
I
where
can't believe how fast.
it was, yeah. So that's why it's like, well, is it really the vaccine? Yes.
Yeah.
It started
Well,
right away.
it's actually in Wikipedia, by the way, about this vaccine. I looked at some of the stuff you're talking about, and this is how ridiculous this is. I have quite a few questions for you here. So you were saying at one point you couldn't stand the sound of your husband's pants
Oh, yeah. So, and that was pretty quick. I mean, that was
rustling.
within the first couple of days. So that sensitivity to sound, right? So I go home, and things just get weird that first day. Next day, I get up and go to work, and I'm a preschool teacher, right? And I love those kids. And during the pandemic, little tiny people, little tiny bodies, they were so stressed and they needed consistency, and they relied on me to show up in that classroom every single day, right? So I was going to go, and I was going to be that source of comfort and stability for them. And by the end of the class period, my sensitivity to light and sound was so severe, I had to turn off the lights in the classroom, and I had to put the kids in front of a learning channel, and I was holed up in the corner just waiting for their parents to come get them. And that was the last day that I taught. And from there, I ended up locked up in my room, towels over the windows because just the curtains were not, blocking enough light. And the sensitivity to sound had become so bad that running water was too much for my ears. So that physical reaction you have when a bullhorn goes off right next to your head?
Yes.
Like that, just from running water, okay? And my dog would come in, and just the sound of him panting, that reaction, okay? My husband's pants swishing was too much. My beautiful little girl, who was 6 years old at the time, and little girls at that age, they sing, right? And
Yes.
you could hear her from the opposite end of the house with her just angelic voice, right? I couldn't even be near her. Just the sound of her voice was too painful. And my little boy, who was 8, would come in, and he, just try to comfort his mom, right? And just the touch of his hand was too painful.
So you're ready to hear how it's described on their Wikipedia page? Additional side effects include tinnitus, persistent ringing in the ears, and paresthesia, an unusual feeling in the skin, such as tingling or a crawling sensation.
Yeah, doesn't that sound,
Benign.
yeah,
Yeah.
it sounds,
Minimal.
yeah,
It's on Wikipedia.
then it will overrun your entire life. It's to say that it's a, life change. It's a dramatic life change.
Of course.
It takes everything out of you to learn how to tolerate that level of discomfort all the time.
So it's the eyes, it's the ears, it's the skin.
Mm-hmm.
You're walking with a cane.
Yeah. So, and it's the heart. So that paresthesia has moved from one arm to the next, head to toe. It moves with my heartbeat now. So it's still with me every moment of every single day. It's the first thing I feel when I wake up in the morning. It's the last thing I feel when I go to sleep. And the only reason I can go to sleep now is because I've got a laundry list of meds that just dial down the symptoms enough so I can turn it off.
I don't even know where to begin here. Do we start with the fact that it's no longer on the market?
Yeah, let's start there.
Okay. I just found some information on the BBC's website about it, and they claim that they pulled the vaccine because they couldn't treat Omicron. So they claimed that they saved let's get this accurate here. 6.5 million lives. They gave 3 billion shots. There's 8 billion people on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
They hit over a third of the population with at least one.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said that they couldn't. Keeping it real with Jillian Michaels.